Our second inductee to be recognized is Sergeant Major retired William Smolak. Sergeant Major Smolak was born January 6, 1948, in Auburn, New York. He joined the United States Army July 27, 1966, and completed initial training at Fort Dix, New Jersey. His first assignment was as a training clerk, battery clerk, and personnel clerk with the 2nd 44th Pershing Missiles, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. His final assignment was the Chief Training Developer and Chief Instructor for the Battle Staff Non-Commissioned Officer Course. The Battle Staff Non-Commissioned Officer Course has endured the test of time, as it is now 31 years old. Sergeant Major Smolak was the leader of this endeavor and is being recognized for his contributions to the non-commissioned officer professional system. He and his team developed a course that continues to meet the need of the Army by providing well-trained and prepared battle staff qualified non-commissioned officers prepared to serve throughout the United States Army. Thousands of non-commissioned officers are graduates of the Battle Staff Non-Commissioned Officer course. Sergeant Major Smolak's contributions to the development of the course merit special recognition. Throughout 31 years, the Battle Staff course has evolved over time to meet the changing Army doctrine, technology, and the way the Army fights and wins our nation's wars. This course will continue to be an asset in developing Battle Staff non-commissioned officers today and well into the future. Please welcome to the stage Sergeant Major retired William Smolak. Our inductee's contributions to the Non-Commissioned Officer Leadership Center of Excellence mark him with distinction and honor as we proudly name Sergeant Major retired Smolak a member of the Non-Commissioned Officer Leadership Center of Excellence's Hall of Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major retired William Smolak.
Thank you all. Good morning. Commandant Schmidt, Deputy Commandant Shirley, Chief of Staff McKinney, distinguished guests, directors of departments, chief instructors, the chaplain. The chaplain said a prayer for me that I'd be short. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. Congratulations to the foreign students. What an honor. And congratulations to the Lamar family. My condolences. And I know he's here today, and I know that he's full of joy, and God bless you all. I want to thank a bunch of people that nobody knows. Maybe they do. This course started in 1989 when General Bono had an idea to combine the personnel and logistics and operations and intelligence course. And Colonel Kenneth Simpson, who was the commandant at the time, picked me to lead a team. It was a team effort. I didn't do this by myself. There was 35, 36 other people who worked a lot harder than I did. I had the joy of running all over the United States, giving briefings and talking to people while they worked. So they made me look very good. And along with Colonel Simpson, Colonel Frederick Van Horn was the second commandant who I probably put in some pretty embarrassing positions, but he was very tolerant, and I lived through it, and so did he. In the briefings, I briefed General Bono quite regularly with Sergeant Major of the Army Gates, and I had the joy of briefing the first 8 Sergeant Majors of the Army who had more stories and more comments than you could believe, and very interesting people. But it was really important, and they gave me quite a bit of information. The course, again, I said started in 1989. We started development, and we worked through 1990, and in 1991, we had the first class, the pilot course, 1-91. For that, I want to go on and say thank you to Sergeant Major McKnight, who's the current chief instructor. Last year, for whatever reason, I saw that the Sergeant Major's Academy was still using the Battle Staff course. And I said, wow, I said, you know, this has been 30 years. So I called Sergeant Major McKnight and I said, you know, could I come by and maybe get a little tour and just see what's going on, nothing special. And he said, yeah, and he set something up and he said, come on by. I cannot say enough about the kindness of Sergeant Major McKnight and some other people I'm going to talk about a little bit. But I got here, and not only was there a little tour, I got to see the class do their cars, and I started meeting directors from departments. But they even had an interview, which they put online. David Crozier, I don't see him, but he made me look good, and which is difficult. I don't know where they got that picture. I'm not even sure who that is. But I got to meet, in addition to David Crozier, Everett Digg, who's the historian, Juan Ortiz, who is Sergeant Major McKnight's, I don't know where, there he is, Sergeant, who's one of the directors, I forgot which one, but it's, he was in charge, he came by during the cars review and we had a nice conversation. I've talked to him quite often. I think I'm starting to irritate people because I come by here trying to make up for not coming by for 30 years. But I got to meet Mr. Ortiz and Bill Ogletree, who said, hey, you got any ideas for the course? And I said, yeah. I said, let's go back to some of the paper stuff that we used to do and throw away maybe some of the computers and things. And, you know, go back to old school. The idea of the course was that no one failed. That was the initial concept, and I know it changed from time to time. And the reason for that was that everybody had to go back to their unit and work as they trained. And if you didn't get the training, then you didn't go back to work. So that was important to us, and we used it as a unit concept in a nice environment. We were in old wooden buildings down the street, portable buildings, and a couple H buildings. We used the library for a joint for a command post exercise. But that was the thought. So I hope some of that comes back. Not the old wood buildings, but you know, a few things. But everybody I talked to, oh, and I forgot Mr. McKinney. Not really. Gene has just been a really, really nice person. Everybody has. Bill Ogletree, Juan Ortiz. Again, I can't say enough about Sergeant Major McKnight and what he offered. Command Sergeant Major Schmidt has been tolerant. I come by in jeans and shorts and a T-shirt, but that was my uniform. I retired in 1991 from the Army. I was class 29. Several of the speakers talked about the people that were from the older classes. So I thank the directors that I met. If I miss somebody, I'm sorry. But there's one person that is most important, and that's my wife. And on June 28th, we've been married. We celebrate our 54th wedding anniversary. She's my rock. I wouldn't be here without her, and I'm really serious about that. She took a very young man, and here I am today. Took me a few years to figure out that she was in charge, but like 40 maybe. But she's my rock. I love you, and I just can't say enough about her. Our daughter is here with our son-in-law Jimmy and our grandson Noah. A little story about Noah. A couple months ago, he had a school assignment. And the school assignment was, who inspires you? And it was me. And he wrote a little story about being in the Army and, you know, going away from home and everything. Mrs. McKinney, if Gene's been making strange phone calls, I think he's been talking to my grandson. Again, I come here and people just make me comfortable. I also want to thank Sergeant Major retired Charles Stewart. He was my boss after I graduated in class 29. We developed, and he was in charge, the personnel and logistics course. Little did we know it'd only be around for a couple years in name, but in content, it's still being taught along with operations and intelligence. And Chuck, I learned from you, and I really appreciate that you were my boss, and that we still talk to each other once in a while. We're getting a little bit older, so we forget where people's houses are and things. But again, I thank you very much. I thank everybody for being out here. Again, I can't say enough about the Academy and the support that they've given to me, and how nice and the kindness and everything you've given to me. And again, thank you, and our team is strong.